Good morning and welcome to Bolton. I'm Joyce Stilley, the Administrative Officer for the Town of Bolton, and this is a live show done the first and the third Tuesdays of each month from 10:30 to 11 a.m. The show is rebroadcast on the second and fourth Tuesdays at the same time period. The show is a continuing effort to promote open communications within the community, and if you have an upcoming event or an organization you would like to get some PR out about, or just have a question as to how town government operates, please contact me at the town hall and we will get a show on the air that covers that topic. Over the course of time, we have many different people who do the show, and some are annual people because of things that are coming up or are ongoing within us. And today I have one of those such guests. I have Carrie Concatella, who is our Director of Senior and Social Services. Welcome, Carrie. I can't remember if this is how many years now?
I think third one. Yes.
I
Thank you
know,
for
it's like,
having me.
Time flies when
It
you're having
does.
fun, doesn't it? You know, we usually do this show this time of year because you are moving into a very, very active period, not just for the seniors in our communities, but on the social services side. So let's talk about, what's the last couple weeks, what has happened, and then we'll move forward.
Sure. Well, fall is always a very busy time for the Senior Center and Social Services. It's a wonderful time of year. Actually, we just had a great Halloween party last week, which was very well attended, a lot of great costumes. It's also the start of the energy assistance season, so we've had some people coming in to ask questions about how to get connected to energy assistance. It's also Medicare open enrollment. There's many, many things going on that people can come in, meet with us, get information about. So fall in general is a busy time. Plus, it's a nice time of year to get out and about. We have a lot of special events. And now we're getting into, early November is when we have, there was a food drive over Halloween. So we have a lot of wonderful items coming in for our food pantry.
And the food drive, that's an annual event in cooperation with?
The Student Council over at the high school, wonderful kids. They collect, I don't know if anyone has gotten bags recently in their neighborhood, but these items are all collected and they come to the Senior Center, and we have some students through the Bolton Transition Program who come over and help us out, and it's a big job to organize quite a few items, but it's really needed. Our food pantry is used by all ages in town. It is for families, children, adults, seniors. So we really go through quite a lot of items, and we were needing it. So it's a really great timing that we have the community coming together to help out the food pantry.
And it's a trick or treat for canned goods.
Right.
And you wind up with not a bag, you wind up with enormous number of bags full
definitely.
Of canned goods.
Yep, these are items that will help us, through the coming months, absolutely. And not just canned goods, we also accept other items. We don't really have any restrictions other than, it can't be an expired good, it can't be opened, but we do take all sorts of items. Some people get very creative, which I really appreciate to see kind of some interesting things that come in, because I think a lot of times families appreciate things that are baking goods, for example, this time of year, yes. Or cake mix for a birthday party is always welcome. It doesn't necessarily have to come in a can. So I always encourage people to kind of think outside of the can and think about the kind of things that you reach for in the kitchen on a regular basis, because we do take other items as well, cleaners, toiletries, paper goods, really anything that you might need to use on a regular basis.
And I was going to say that we talk about it being a food pantry, but it's more than that. Mm-hmm. And, just shampoos, soaps. I mean, people do need to think about things that they use in their own house and think about this can be a family that has young children, mm-hmm. or it can be elderly. It can be, or any place in between. So at times, even things like diapers, they're mm-hmm. so expensive to buy.
Absolutely.
But things like that help out some of the families that do need mm-hmm. our help.
Absolutely. Even, snacks for kids to take, have, and really a lot of those things we say, really all ages enjoy those types of foods. So, really it can be quite a variety of items. Even breakfast foods are always welcome. Anything that you could think of that might be nice to have, and, we appreciate it.
And sometimes I think people feel or just have this impression of Bolton that, we don't have people that need our assistance, and we actually do. And statistically, it's been shown that the number of people we have is actually growing.
It is definitely a growing population, and sometimes we work with families only for a short period of time, and other times we work with them for a longer period of time. So, we welcome anyone who needs to come and work with us. That's what it's there for, and it's wonderful to see the community, support each other. That's really nice to see, because you never know if you might need it sometime. So that's why we have it. It's a great service.
And we are talking about donating, but the other side of it is we want people to feel that it is a service that's there for them. So if you need help of some kind, please ask.
Absolutely.
And you're very good about, you'll meet with them before the center opens, you'll meet with them after the center opens. Confidentiality is very good, and to try to encourage people that do need some help, and it's nothing to be ashamed of.
Absolutely. I don't want anything to be a barrier. If someone has trouble getting over to see us, if it's a transportation issue, if the hours don't quite work, because we do have a little bit of limited hours, but I am very willing to work with anyone that we can come up with a solution.
And I should have started off the day actually talking about today is actually voting day.
Correct.
And certainly encourage people to vote, but it's also coming up. Next week is actually Veterans Day, and you always do some things in particular for veterans as well. Perhaps you can talk about those.
Sure. We have a couple things coming up. For the entire month of November, we do a veterans collection. This is for the Rocky Hill Veterans Home. This has been a tradition that we have done for many years. So we do have some collection boxes out in the senior center the whole month, but there will also be some today. If anyone goes to vote, it's going to be right on the town green, right there, right outside Town Hall, where the booths are. And we will have boxes available the rest of the month at Town Hall, in the library, at the senior center. For any kind of items, this is for men and women, so it could be some simple toiletries, some socks, or any kind of, clothing with tags. They really have quite a list of things that are needed by the people at the Rocky Hill Veterans Home. So we do have a collection box for that. We also have our Veterans Appreciation Luncheon is this coming Thursday. We're holding it on Thursday, November 8th. And that luncheon is open for anyone who would like to come. It doesn't have to be a veteran. We want to honor and appreciate our veterans, but everyone is welcome to participate. We will have a wonderful keynote speaker, and we are also doing a special presentation this year because it is the 100 years since World War I, so the Bolton Historical Society will be doing a special presentation for that, because we did have people in the town of Bolton who
Yes.
were part of World War I, so we want to think about those particular individuals as we think about the 100th anniversary.
And this is probably a good opportunity for us to talk about, you said there's a whole list of items, and there's many places that people can find out information. The Bolton Bulletin, that if people have not signed up for that, I certainly encourage that. And in that is also links to 2 of your newsletters as well, or they can sign up directly, and perhaps you can talk about your newsletters.
Sure. So we actually have 2 newsletters that we publish through my department. We have our Senior Center newsletter is published every 2 months, and we have a Social Services newsletter, which is published quarterly. And the reason for that is that it kind of highlights the seasonal programs that are out there in our community, whether available through us or to let someone know about what else is around nearby. as well as the ongoing programs. So both of these newsletters we do put in the Bolton Bulletin every time it is published, and it's also available on the website. We have them printed out for people who want a hard copy. We have them at the Senior Center. We also have them in Town Hall at the Town Clerk's office and also at the library. And some people like to get it by email, so they may also get it by email. And we have a few people who need it mailed. So we really have many different ways that, if anyone would like that information, if people prefer it online, we have it there. If they would like it by email, or the hard copy as well. So we definitely want, people to check out. We always have a calendar in there of what's going on, and that can be handy to kind of check off, what they want to attend coming up. And the social services newsletter has a lot of information, phone numbers, ways to get in touch with all sorts of different community groups around us.
And one of the things that we probably should have also talked about when we first started was where the Senior Center actually is, that we're so used to where
True.
it is. Some people may not know that it's actually across the street from us on Notch Road in the south wing of the Notch Road Municipal Center, where basically had taken, how many years ago?
20 years ago, actually.
That's right.
This year is our 20th anniversary of
And
the
I think
building.
the ribbon cutting was December.
Was December, early December.
So we're just coming up on that 20-year anniversary of taking the 4 classrooms and converting it into a senior center.
Absolutely. Yeah, we have a wonderful space there. You see the white columns on the side of the building. That's where our entrance is. And we encourage anyone who hasn't been in to come take a tour and check it out. We have all sorts of different regular programs as well as special events, and we are open Monday through Friday. We're open 9 to 4 on 9 to 3 on Fridays.
And another thing that is out right now for people to help with is the Giving Tree, and perhaps you can explain a little bit about that program and talk about what's going on with that. Sure.
So our Giving Tree is another wonderful annual program that we have every year. What we do is we invite anyone, families or individuals who would like to participate in any of our upcoming holiday programs. We have many different holiday programs, so some people choose some of them, some choose other ones. And one of them is that for families who need help with the holiday gifts, what we do is we have information that they complete for, again, all ages, of items that a child could use, or maybe a family present, maybe someone needs some new sheets or a blanket or that kind of item. So what we do is we make some ornaments and we hang them up both in the Senior Center and also in the library. These are the 2 places to find the ornaments. They're there throughout the month of November, so they're there now all the way until the end of the month. And what we ask is that if you pick an ornament or 2 and go shopping, get some items for that individual and bring it back. And this year we are actually saying that anyone can bring back the item to either the Senior Center or the library. And the reason for that is that sometimes it's a little easier to get to the library because of their hours being a little bit later in the day than ours are on the weekends. So that's fine. If you can't get over to the Senior Center, you can certainly drop it off at the library and they'll get it to us. And that will go to families. These are all Bolton residents that could really use a little bit of help around the holidays. So we have very generous people in town, and we have quite a lot of fun we turn one room basically into the North Pole, as we call it, to get it all ready to go and set up. And it's quite a fun project to work on every year because people in town are really quite generous, and it's really nice to make someone's holiday a little brighter.
And items are due back by?
By Thursday, December 6th. We'd really appreciate it. That's why we put them out so early, because we know, those sales are coming up, and we'd love to get, whatever items, we will take it whenever someone has it available. And these are unwrapped items. You don't need to do anything to it. We just ask that you attach the ornament back to it so that way we can match it to the right individual.
Use those Kohl's Cash, right?
Absolutely. That's a great use for it.
And that's it can be a game for an 8-year-old. It can be, a piece of clothing for a 12-year-old female. It can be, a sweatshirt. It can be anything. And this is specifically, the family that filled out the form has requested these items for this individual. And so the ornament will tell you all of that good information.
Absolutely, and we try to get as specific information as possible because, it's tough to pick out things for kids. Sometimes they have a favorite color or favorite character, and usually we put down a few ideas to kind of give you a sense of what kind of thing that person might enjoy. So we like to, to get creative, see what else is out there.
And along with that, that's out, and you're right, people do a lot of shopping this time of year, especially Thanksgiving, but you also have baskets for Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Absolutely. So we have a couple different baskets, actually. Our Senior Inc. group actually will be doing some baskets for Thanksgiving for some of our homebound seniors that we have in town. They will be delivering some nice bread and fruit. It's really a wonderful program that is greatly appreciated. And we also do holiday baskets for Thanksgiving and Christmas. So if anyone needs to sign up for that, they can get in contact with our office. We'll make sure that they have a delivery the Sunday before Thanksgiving and the Sunday before Christmas. And this is in a partnership with St. Maurice. So we have some helpful elves that help us deliver to get everything where it needs to be. So it's a wonderful collaboration that we really enjoy taking part of every year.
And we've talked about, lots of things they're doing for the community, but there's actually many events coming up just planned for seniors or at the senior center, and perhaps you could share information on that, because you're always looking for new people to come in.
Absolutely, and a lot of times I recommend, if you've never been to the senior center before and you don't really know someone, my first recommendation is to try a lunch out, because that's a great way to meet someone. You sit down at a table and you get to know them and a few of their friends, and then pretty soon you know an awful lot of people just from, meeting their friends and then their friends and getting to know a lot of different individuals who are kind of regular participants at the senior center. So we have 2 lunches out that are coming up this year that we do every year because they are so popular. One of them is at Cheney Tech, and one of them is at Wyndham Tech. The students do a wonderful job making meals through their culinary programs. So we will have both of those coming up. Wyndham Tech is going to be in November and Cheney Tech in December. So I definitely encourage anyone to participate in those lunches out. We try to do a lunch out usually once or twice a month, depending on the weather, and go to all sorts of different places. We will also have, at the end of November, we will be decorating the senior center for the holidays. So we have, some volunteers come and set it all up, and it really makes the place look very nice to get us in the spirit. And at the end of the month, we will also have an outing over to the Gingerbread Festival, which is in South Windsor. Every year, there's a wonderful display of gingerbread houses. So we have the seniors go out there and they go out to lunch while they're at it, and that's a wonderful way to kind of get in the spirit of the holidays. So throughout the month of December, we'll also have some other events like a holiday party, and every year we do one that we really, really love, which is called cookie tasting. We go over to the high school and have all sorts of delicious cookies baked by the students. So there's many of those events coming up that we really encourage, to sign up. We have a lot of sign-up sheets, and anyone can either come in or give us a call. We'll get your name on the list to get a head count of a lot of these events, and if someone needs transportation, we have that. So we have quite a lot, and of course this time of year can be very chaotic for some, and for some people it's a hard time of year, if anyone has had a loss recently. So among all the hustle and bustle this time of year, we also offer sort of a pre-holiday reflection time. If anyone wants to come in and just kind of have a few moments of calm before all the chaos. And that will be on November 15th. We'll be gathering and just kind of having some quiet time together to think and reflect, because when you have all these events going on, as much as it's really fun, sometimes it can be a lot too. So we want to balance that out a bit.
And let's talk about, we've talked considerably about things October, November, December, but year-round you do quite a few things. And let's talk a little bit about chore assistance. And you just mentioned van rides, but I'm not sure if people are fully cognizant of the services that are available to them.
Sure. Well, year-round, our transportation program is wonderful. We have 3 vehicles, and we have 4 van drivers at the moment, wonderful van drivers. And what we do is we can bring either people who are seniors or adults with disabilities to where they need to go, whether it's a doctor's appointment or haircut, grocery shopping, the bank, the post office, any of those places that you kind of need to go on a regular basis. So we encourage anyone that needs transportation. We're happy to get them on the schedule and get them where they need to go in this vicinity because, you know, we are in a rural area, so
Correct.
sometimes you need to go a little bit further to get those services, so we will connect them with what else is out there. And our chore program is also a wonderful program. Both of these programs are grant funded in part with the town. And the chore program, what it is it's for anyone who is over age 60 can participate, who needs a little help around the house. You know, this time of year, of course, we have raking.
Right.
Then it's going to be snow shoveling, but also those general chores around the house. So what we do is we connect seniors with high school students, and I encourage high school students to come in and meet with me as long as they're 15 or older. They can come in and fill out an application, and it's a great part-time job after school or on weekends to go over and do some raking or pick up sticks or all those different types of chores that can really make a difference to stay independent at home. It's really nice to get those things checked off the list.
And you mentioned, you know, you're always looking for additional people to do those services, and usually it is high school or college kids
Sure, absolutely.
looking for work. But there is, you know, lots of people do need that little bit of extra help, and it can be for a one-time project, or it can be, you know, you need help shoveling snow coming up in the winter, or mowing in the summer months. So it's open in that regard as well.
Absolutely. It could be for those seasonal type tasks, or, you know, we have some people who need someone to come maybe every week, maybe every other week. You know, sometimes it's on a particular schedule. For example, helping bring those garbage cans out, you know, maybe every week or every other week for recycling week. That can make a big difference, and that's something that a high schooler could certainly help with. So we try to connect, you know, the right senior to the right student, and they can really form a great relationship, get to know each other over the years, and that's a nice aspect of the program.
And that intergenerational is always an important aspect, and that's working, you know, with the high school, with the cookie tasting, and just different events like that is important relationships to develop. And I know the Center School reaches out at times too with programming just to make those connections.
Absolutely. You know, it's our center is 55 plus, but, you know, it's wonderful to bring the generations together and enjoy each other's company, learn from each other. You know, we have all these wonderful students in town, and we're right next door to the preschool program. I mean, we're really in a great spot to get to know all our neighbors, really, because it really is for every social services. It's all ages. You know, we really welcome anyone who wants to come in and check it out. You know, a lot of people don't consider themselves a senior at 55. And that's okay, but we have something for everybody. You know, even if you come in for an hour here or there, or come to a program that interests you, you know, we really encourage anyone to check out what is out there, because there really are a lot of services that are available. And we want to make sure that, you know, maybe you might not be interested, but maybe your neighbor is, or maybe your friend is, and we'd love that word of mouth.
And during a typical week, you know, that we talked about some special events, but there's some things that occur on a weekly basis that people could come in and become a part of. And now the weather has changed, but I know over this past summer, there was an interest in pickleball.
Absolutely. We have pickleball. We received a wonderful grant to get equipment, and that's kind of an up-and-coming sport becoming very, very popular. So we are trying to teach everyone so we can all kind of learn together how to play.
But just going through, we have, you know, a few minutes left, but let's talk about Monday through Friday, some events that occur on a routine basis.
Sure. Well, we have to start the week, we actually kind of start with some hustle and bustle Monday morning because we have not one but 2 yoga classes, which are very popular. We have a hatha yoga class and a chair yoga class. So those are very well attended. That's what we start with Monday morning, and the chair yoga class meets Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and the hatha yoga meets Mondays and Fridays. So Monday afternoon, we have a very active dominoes group. We have 2 different kinds of dominoes that play simultaneously. And then Tuesdays, we have poker and mahjong, and we have a very popular thing Tuesday morning, going to ShopRite to get some shopping done. So we have quite a wonderful group of people that all go and get shopping done together. It makes it a little bit more fun for something that's normally a chore. And Wednesdays, our setback group is incredibly popular, as well as the bridge group that meets. And Thursdays, we have a knitting group that's some nice regulars, as well as canasta in the afternoon. And Fridays, our quilting group is a wonderful, dynamic group. They make the most beautiful creations. It's really nice to see. And a lot of people come and gather for all sorts of different crafts as well. So I definitely, if anyone has any interest in any of those types of activities, definitely come check it out. They'd love to have more participants. And if you don't know how to play, they'll teach you.
That's excellent. Just a couple minutes left. Closing thoughts or highlights of people please remember?
Please remember that we're here and we're very happy to help you. We have lots of things coming up. We have tax season, we'll have another program coming up. So just think of us. If there's something that you need or want to know more about, please give us a call or stop in anytime. We're always happy to help.
And remember the upcoming Veterans Day lunch, the Veterans Collection that is out at the various areas, and certainly the giving tree is a big item that we do need the community's help. And on the reverse side, if you're an individual that does need some of that help, we certainly encourage you to contact Carrie at the Senior Center or her staff and get some information on what's coming up.
Absolutely. And a big thank you to everybody in town, because really, it does take everyone, and we really appreciate all the help that we do get throughout the year.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Just a couple of other things. Certainly today is voting day. I certainly encourage you to exercise your right to vote and get out to vote. Also, I want to just reflect back. I've done some shows on Community Voice Channel, the one where we switched over to the high def, but certainly want to take time to congratulate them on their ribbon cutting last week as they moved to the high def. A major step forward for them, and I know they have some other things that they're looking forward to doing, and certainly your support is important to Community Voice Channel. The Board of Selectmen would normally be meeting this evening, but with it being Election Day, they postponed their meeting 1 week, so we will actually be meeting next Tuesday. My guest next time is actually Kylene Welshman, our Recreation Director, because as we're going into the holidays, it's also a busy time for the Recreation Department. As always, my continued thank yous to Community Voice Channel for its support, and I will see you in 2 weeks.